Okay, today what I would like to do is explain the different sticking positions, sticking heights, or levels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Joe Morello's Master Studies, line 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to demonstrate how I approach practicing these particular lines. And for me to get the most out of my practicing, if you have the Master Studies 1, you'll read in the beginning of the book that the approach is extremely natural. And there are some rules that you should understand before you attempt these lines. Now, in previous videos I've made the different sticking positions. For example, the full stroke, or the free stroke, the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke. Now, these are the 4 different positions that we're going to explore with the first couple pages of Joe Morello's Master Studies. Now, for you to get the most out of this book, you have to use these levels. It's just a natural way, a natural approach. It's what's occurring with your drumstick when it hits the drum or the drum pad. You're going with the motion. It's natural. You're not preventing anything from occurring. I'm not going to speak of today the distance of the top of my stick to the bottom of my stick and the different dynamic levels that we could obtain. That is going to come in a different video. We're not going to talk about pianissimo, piano, mezzo forte, forte, or fortissimo. That's just a different kind of thing. We're going to, like I said, just work with the 4 different levels that I just explained. And again, it's the full stroke, the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke. It's so simple. It's no low right, low left, whipping like this. It's nothing like that, because all of that stuff is very, very unnatural. What we're going to do is just do a natural flow of what's occurring when you're doing these particular exercises. If you go with the natural feel, the natural flow, you will achieve miracles. So we're going to take the first line. It's on page 7, line 1. This is written in cut time, but we're not going to deal with cut time at the moment. What we're going to do is deal with eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And as you see, the placement of the accents and the different sticking is going to determine where you start and where you end up and what you need to do in order to get there naturally. So if you look at the first line you have 2 accents and a series of non-accents. The first accent being your right and the second accent being your left. However, when I do the first line, I'm going to put myself in position to attack the other side, which is the second measure. The first measure being the accent on 1, which would be a downstroke, 1. Now I accomplished an accent. The next one is the and. It's an accent, but this time I need to do a full stroke or a free stroke, which would be this. Now I just accomplished 2 accents. Let me do it again. My starting position, I'm coming down, hitting an accent. My left hand, I'm hitting an accent. Now, what I'm doing is setting myself up to do the next variation of the exercise, the second half. So I'm going to complete the exercise. So the first exercise is just down, free stroke. Then I have a series of taps, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, I'm back in that same position, and I did the first part of the exercise. I didn't force anything. I just went with a natural thing to put myself in position to attack. The second part of this, the second measure of this exercise, you have now just the reverse of the first part, which now you're set up to play. That's an accent. That's 1. There's a downstroke. Now the and has to be a full stroke or a free stroke in order to put yourself or get ready for the position of it going around again. And then a series of taps. That would be 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, I'm starting all over again and I'm not exerting anything, and I'm in position. Now this is the extreme. All right, this is what is occurring when you're doing this exercise. I just constantly focus myself on this. I put myself in position, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now what I'm accomplishing, I'm doing the same sound with the right and with the left as the accent, and the other ones are non-accented. So what I would do, once you understand the natural flow, and I'll explain what the natural flow is a little bit, probably a little bit better, as using a little kid, say 5 or 6 years old, and you give him a pair of drumsticks, and he'll hold the drumsticks like this. He'll grab them naturally, and he'll hit the surface like this. And you tell him to hit one harder, and he'll naturally just bring the stick up and come down. That's what he would naturally do. And that's what this is being broken down to. But there are some rules and regulations you need to understand. You need to set yourself up in order for this to work and develop speed. Now, what I did with the first line again, 3 and 4, set up again. 1 to the reverse side, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, once you get familiar with it, you can put it on a metronome. What you want to do with that, I could take it as an eighth note, but because you're not familiar with the exercise, I'm going to work it slow. I would say, okay, that every tick is going to be a stroke. And I would count it in quarter notes, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the line becomes a 4-measure increment as 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Position. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you do this every day, you're going to get more and more familiar with it. Right now, the metronome is set at 60. That's giving me my quarter note pulse. So once you get feeling good with it and it's starting to be relaxed and flow and you understand the movement, then you could change from the quarter note to the eighth note. Example, 1 and 2 and 3 and eighth note count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I do this all the time, and you get a little bit more relaxed. That's the trick here, is to stay relaxed. You have to let it flow. So we're going to change the metronome maybe to, let's see, say 130, 140 is good. Now, you've done the exercise in quarter notes and in eighth notes, and you're getting more and more familiar with it. Now, I'm going to take this into the eighth note formation, which would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, this is extremely mechanical at this particular point. But what you're doing is you're obtaining the correct sounds, you're relaxing the flow, you're getting in position to attack the next accent with no effort at all. You need to follow the rules and regulations. If you work this way, you're going to eventually, have your hands move the way you would like. No finger action, excuse me. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now notice, I'm making the downstroke and the free stroke sound the same, and all other notes taps and the upstroke sound the same, so I accomplish the sound that I want. Now, if you do it slow every day, you want to get good hands, this is the trick. And 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now, as you pick up the speed, something else is going to occur. You need to have your whole body relaxed. The system of levers, when the two wheels interlock. I have a lever here, and a lever here, and they all need to work together. But however, those levers only work from up here. You can't be going 1. Something is not correct. You need to just relax. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Now you can take this wherever you want. I mean, nobody wants to play it at 9,000 beats per minute because it doesn't make any sense. The object, the statement goes around. When I studied with Mr. Morello, the statement was, this is a means to an end. Well, an end for what? I don't understand. The end is that you have the capability to do or say what you want musically. So that opens up a tremendous amount of doors. In my opinion, it's a means to a beginning for you to make or say a statement musically that you want with the minimal amount of energy and with the minimal amount of stress, just total relaxation. What I'm doing here is occurring here. Same thing. You need to do them slow, become familiar with it, be consistent. If you take another line, line 3, I guess. The sticking pattern is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right. Now the accent falls in different places. I have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Each one of these exercises has its own movement. They're designed for you to be able to hit an accent any place you like with no effort at all. And that's where the stroking positions or levels or sticking heights come in. Now, I'm not going to speak too much, like I said, on that, but how it's a scientific thing whereas you have Mr. Isaac Newton and Mr. Einstein. The law of gravity, and for every action is a reaction kind of thing, which we're not really going to get into. But the heights of the drumstick is going to dictate to you the volume of your stick. If I hit the stick at this position, well, I'm very close to the stick. But I have this whole spectrum up here. From here, my starting position. And that is going to give me all different kinds of volume. Whether it be pianissimo. If I wanted to play this particular exercise in line 1, pianissimo, well, my sticking position or the rules still remain the same, but the sticking heights will change because I don't no longer need a stroke like that. I need a stroke like that to make the difference between an accent and a non-accented note. So I would start here. I'd get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. I'm faster. That's giving you a very slow sound. You want a little louder sound? Start here. 1 and 2 and the height. The height determines the stick volume. Here. That's a pretty loud sound. You hit a drum like that, and it's loud. You want anything louder, you're going to choke the drum. If you're playing an acoustic gig, you're not going to hit a drum that loud. You're going to hit it down here so everything sounds musical. Now, with this, understanding the heights or levels or sticking positions is going to give you any kind of dynamic that you want. You have control of the sound of your stick. Now, by going through the systems in, say, Joe Morello's master studies, that's going to show you how to obtain all of this. Now, the Joe Morello book is designed for the snare drum and it's a hand technique. The He also demonstrated how these are played on the drum set. And they are very musical, and they do have a bit of a groove to them. Okay, and the next video coming up will demonstrate how to apply this particular exercise to the drum set. And it would sound very musical. In the meantime, you just need to remember the full stroke, the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke. Everything is totally relaxed. You make the stick breathe. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and always putting myself in position. I demonstrated this in a previous video I made a while back as the full stroke, the free stroke, the downstroke, the tap, and the upstroke, demonstrating the single paradigm, the sticky pattern, the alternating paradigm, which is right, left, right, left, left. I'm putting myself in position using the different levels. 1. Now, if I go to line 2 of Joe Morello book, I look at it. I have to put it over here for a second. Okay. Line 2, I have 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and so I look at it. If I had just started doing the book, and I say, well, I have 2 right-hand accents, so this has to be up in order to be in position for the next one. Now, my next stroke is just a tap. However, I need to put myself in position to hit the next accent, which would be an upstroke. The next one is a right-hand accent. But after the accent, I have all taps, so I need to put myself in position. And the next one is a left-hand accent, which I need to have as a free stroke or a full stroke to maintain the position to get into for the next second part of the measure. So I have next tap, 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 tap. Now I'm in position to attack the next one. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and it's free stroke. I'm sorry, I made a mistake there. I apologize. The third line, you have 1 is a full stroke, and as a tap. 2 as a downstroke, and as an upstroke because I'm going to get in position to attack the next accent. 3, and 4, and that should have been a free stroke. Okay, I'm just watching the time in the book and the picture on the video. Excuse me. But if I did line 3, it's got a bit of a groove to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All those positions I just explained are there. But again, you just can't pick up the sticks because what predicates your positioning is the placement of the sticking plus the accents. Okay, I hope this kind of clears it up, sort of. And next time we're going to do the spectrum of volume from fortissimo to pianissimo. So the same thing is occurring down here in my place soft as it is here, except for the different heights. The heights give me the volume. Same thing with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, thank you.